What's up, everybody? Sandamtod coming at you here. We're going to try to do a response video to Sandamtod, real cool guy. Put up a video about a week ago wanting to know what was some of the most prized possessions in our game collection. And it could be different things to different people. It could just be, you know, a common game that has a cool story behind it, or it could be, you know, one of their most rare games in their collection. And most of mine, it's not because of rarity. A lot of it's story and stuff like that. But I'm going to try to get through this and not make it too long. But I'm going to start with some loose games here. The first item I'm going to say is TMNT, Turtles in Time. Love this game, one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. It's actually the game that got me back into collecting. And really, if you go back and look at my channel, I believe it's one of the very first video game videos I did. I picked this up along with a couple other games, but this was the game that really got me wanting to play again. So when I went and found my Model 2 Super Nintendo, I bought it so that I could play this game. And then it really got me back into wanting to play, you know, all these games that I'd played as a child. And then it just turned into all this where I wanted to play systems I didn't get a chance to play games I didn't get a chance to play, and it's really what got me into collecting retro games was Turtles in Time. And then next, I'm going to show you Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis. The reason why I value this game so much, and it's not even in the best of shape, the label's torn, and I still have a sticker on the back I've not cleaned off, but the reason why I put this in my collection as far as a prized game is I got this off a trade off of a good buddy on YouTube, Daredevil Cruz. He had this, and I can't remember what game I traded him. I honestly cannot remember what I traded him for it. But I had been looking for Hyperstone Heist for a long time and never could find it for like under 40 bucks. You know, it was hard to come across, and Daredevil had a loose copy and hooked me up with a trade, and I love this game so much. And it's actually a game that I sit and play with my daughter on a weekly basis. My daughter loves to play Hyperstone Heist on the Genesis, so that's why this is part of one of my most prized games. This game right here, Super Mario Kart, I'm putting it in there for the simple fact it's the first game I ever received in a trade on YouTube. Good friend on here, Bubba Sizer, back when I first started YouTube, had put up a video and with some items he had for trade, and this was one of them. I was looking for a copy of Super Mario Kart, couldn't really find a copy under about 15 bucks, and didn't really want to pay a whole lot for one. And I remember he had Super Mario Kart up for trade, so I sent him a PM and, you know, told him, I think I listed a few games that I had that I could be willing to trade, and he didn't need any of the games that I had up for trade. And so he sent me back a message, and he's like, dude, he's like, I'll send you Super Mario Kart, and whenever, here's a list of the games for the NES I don't have. If you don't know Bubba Sizer, he has a huge NES collection, so it was really hard, especially when I was just starting out and didn't have that much, to find games that he didn't have. So he sends me a big list of games, and he goes, I'm going to send you Mario Kart, and as soon as you find a game that's on my list that I need, he goes, you can send it to me if you want. You know, he said, we're cool. He sent me this game. He also sent a copy of F-Zero, a copy of, I think, Mortal Kombat 2. And I cannot remember, I think he sent one other game too, maybe Super Mario World. Yeah, he sent me like 4 games in the mail, and it blew me away. And that's when I first learned how amazing the community was. Like, there was some really cool, generous people in the community. And yeah, Bubba Sizer hooked me up, and it took me a few months, but I think I eventually was able to hook him up with a copy of 1943 on the NES. So that's why Super Mario Kart's one of my prized games, because pretty much, you know, a guy on YouTube that I didn't know in person sent it to me out of the kindness of his heart, and really I could have ripped him off easily. You know, there's You know, there was no way that he would have ever really been able to do anything if I didn't send him his games. But, you know, generosity, he sent it to me, and we made a friendship, and I still enjoy his channel. He don't post too much, but he did post a video the other day. So go check Bubba Sizer's channel out. Next two games, I'm going to show them together to save time. But I got Rise of the Robots and Rushing Beat. I don't know that these are really worth a lot, but these are for the Super Famicom. They're my only two Super Famicom games in my collection. I actually don't have any imports or anything like that really, but I'm pretty sure these came from a friend on here called the Alfred Effect, and I cannot remember what the trade was. I'm pretty sure I sent him some Sega games or something. I can't remember, but we did a trade, and he hooked me up as a bonus with two of these Super Famicom games, and they're the only two Super Famicom games I have in my collection, and I really value them just for the simple fact I don't go out of my way to collect them. I never run across them or anywhere, and these are the only two Super Famicom games that I've ever had, and I don't know if I'll ever get any more because it's just not something I go out of my way to collect. But he threw those in as a bonus, and I just thought it was so awesome, and I really appreciated it. Alright, now what can I move on to next here? As I showed in my last video, my three sealed Super Nintendo games, Star Wars, F-Zero, and Space Invaders. These are pretty prized in my collection to me because they're the only sealed Super Nintendo games I have. I would probably definitely want to say Chrono Trigger is one of my prized games. I'd been looking for this game for a long time. It doesn't have the manual with it, but the cartridge is in pretty good shape. And the reason why I would put this prize, beyond the fact that it's Chrono Trigger and a really highly sought after game, is because I got this when I went to WrestleMania 27. I'd been walking around this flea market in Georgia called the Pendergrass Flea Market, and people's prices were outrageous, man. They were asking like $10 for a copy of Mario Duck Hunt, and all these game prices were ridiculous. I was getting so frustrated because this was supposed to be one of the biggest flea markets in Georgia, and I was so excited to finally go, you know, outside of my state, you know, to a big, huge flea market where I could possibly run into games I'd never seen before. I'd never seen a copy of Chrono Trigger in person, and I was so excited to, you know, go, and I was getting so disappointed because prices were outrageous and nobody was willing to negotiate. And then I found this little booth in there that had tons of boxed games and stuff like that, and he had Chrono Trigger, and I can't remember if I paid $20 or $25 for it, but yeah, I'm thinking 25. We'll say 25 to be on the high end, but still not bad. But it could have been 20. I can't remember. But I sat and talked to these guys forever, man, and really cool dudes. They hooked me up with a makeshift case in the game, which I thought was a really good deal. And I was very happy to finally throw Chrono Trigger into my collection. As I turn around on you, and also this would be one too. My boxed copy is Super C. It's in mint shape, man. It's really nice. It's got the foam insert in the bottom, and got the instruction manual. This is one of my more complete copies of a boxed game. I've got that. And then I've even got a sealed copy of Super C. The reason why that is, if anybody saw my Georgia flea market pickup video, I didn't pay attention, and when I opened it up and took it up to the counter to talk to the guy, they actually had a copy of Contra in it, but I needed a new copy of Contra at the time, so all I did was I went out and bought a copy of Super C and replaced it. I actually paid $9.99 for that. But it's one of my more complete copies. Let's see, I've even got the little Konami poster and stuff inside of it. So definitely got this off the same people there in Georgia at the flea market, and I paid $10 for the boxed copy, and like I said, it did have Contra in it when I bought it, but I needed a new copy of Contra anyway, and then I just went to G2K one day and found a copy of Super C. Super C as a loose cart wasn't too hard to find, so it wasn't that big a deal, but yeah, it's a really nice box copy, and like I said, part of it's because it was on my trip to WrestleMania, because I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to go to WrestleMania again, but it's one of my prized possessions due to that. I'm starting to feel like Sandamtod, where he said his video was going long. I have no idea how long I've been talking here. This might take me a while to upload. Is there any other, major games that are in my collection that I just really value? I mean, I got a ton of them that I love and value, but I don't know if you'd call them prized or not. We'll go ahead and go to a system next. My boxed Model 1 Sega Genesis. This is one of my more prized possessions because as far as going back, this is the earliest game system I have that I have complete in box. I guess the next would be my probably my Dreamcast, I guess. But there's a cool story behind this. This is also one of my first videos on my channel. I was at G2K one day and looking at some games, and a guy brought this in and was going to sell it to him at G2K. And I think they offered him like $5 or $10 for a boxed Model 1. I mean, they were going to rip him off pretty bad. And I'm like, dude, that's all they're going to offer you? And I said, man, I'll pay you, I think I said $15. I might have had $16 in my wallet, I can't remember. But I'm like, I'll give you 15 or 16 right now if you want to sell it to me. As I lose my voice. Should have brought a water, but yeah. Bought this right off a guy outside of G2K to keep from him losing a few bucks to G2K. So pretty cool. It's not the best condition box in the world, but man, it's the Model 1, and I love it. It actually came with a copy of Mortal Kombat and Sonic, and I think Sonic 2 was in it. But it's all complete. I actually still have this system in here. I have another Model 1 that I play with. I left all this in the box. It's really, I don't feel like digging it all out right now. I'll try to open her up here. There's no like styrofoam stuff in it. So like all the original packaging stuff I think is gone, but there's the system. And I think all my cables and stuff I did take out and put in a baggie and labeled, because I only had one set of cables. Actually, the 1602 power supply that came with this, I even had to replace it. But alright, let's see what's next here. Oh man, so much crap. I'm probably going to try to go ahead and start cutting this video short. I'll end it with the power glove, I guess. Definitely, I did this just not long ago, showed you all, but my power glove with, I didn't show this in the last video, but, I do have the sensor bars and stuff. My power glove is probably one of the most valuable things in my collection, because it's just something I've been looking for a really long time, and just never did get a chance to find one until recently. I got it at the auction for $1, and pretty cool. It's not really a good peripheral by any means. It doesn't work very well, but it's awesome to look at, and definitely a piece of video game history. And so the power glove would definitely be one of my more prized possessions. No cool story other than I got it at the flea market for $1. Definitely my Ninja Turtles NES. This is one of my prized possessions simply because I created it. I'm not a very good artist by any means. I kind of suck as far as drawing and stuff, but I took the time and actually made customize this. I've got tons of NESs. I've probably got about 5 more sitting in the back room right now that I had plans on customizing some of them and still haven't got around to it. But one day I decided to sit down and make a Ninja Turtles NES, and it turned out pretty good. So I would consider that one of my prized ones. One more, I'll end it with this too. Oh man, I dropped my Yoshi. Everybody hates it when you drop your Yoshi. My NES Super Scope. This is in box, and the reason why I throw this in here would be because my brother-in-law actually bought me this, and the thing is, he didn't get it for a good deal as far as I know. I'm pretty sure he bought this like off eBay or something, so I know he paid a little bit for it, but it really meant a lot that he, you know, bought me a box Super Scope for my birthday, and really cool to have. I don't see a ton of people with the boxed peripherals. So, and considering I don't have a whole lot of boxed things as far as game systems and peripherals, I thought it was pretty cool. There's the Super Scope herself. I think I've actually got the game on my shelf, but pretty cool peripheral. I actually like it. It's fun to put together and walk around with sometimes. But mostly I leave her in the box on top of my game shelf because I don't play a lot of light gun games with the Super Nintendo. So, but that would probably be the last thing I had to talk about. This video's went on for a while. If anybody still made it, I thank you. Oh, my incoherent rambling. That's about it. I don't have anything super rare, super crazy, but there's a story behind most everything I own. Maybe I can do that some other time in some videos. Show off some things that just have particular stories behind them. But I'm gonna get out of here. Please go check out Sandamtod's video. It's a long video, but man, break it up into segments if you have to, because he has some cool stories behind the items that he chose. And definitely shoot Sandamtod a response. I'm going to post this as a video response to his, and I'll try to leave a link down below to his video and channel. And so go and shoot Sandamtod a video response on what are your most prized possessions in your collection. And I'm going to go head out of here and get a drink of water before I can't speak anymore. So new video coming up. Hopefully another one in the next week or so. And I'll talk to y'all later. Take care, everybody.